Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Wendy Santamaria, and in today's video I will be talking about the lexical approach. First of all, what is the lexical approach? The lexical approach is a method of teaching foreign language described by Mike Lewis in 1993. The basic concept of which this approach arises is the idea that an important part of learning a language consists of being able to understand and produce lexical phrases as chunks. Means it is based on the observation and understanding of words, and a word combination is the primary method of learning language. Once the importance of prefabricated language is acknowledged, the grammar-vocabulary dichotomy becomes obviously false. In fact, language has long been analyzed as consisting of grammatical structures instead of usually single vocabulary items. Grammar has been given priority over vocabulary. The latter has been seen as secondary in importance, merely serving to illustrate the meaning and scope of the grammar. In the lexical approach, the dichotomy is unrealistic and considered to be based on false assumptions about language. Language is basically its lexicon. Students are thought to be able to perceive patterns of language grammar as well as have a meaningful set use of words at their disposal when they are taught in this way. The principles of the lexical approach have been around since Mike Lewis published the lexical approach. According to this, the principles of this method are: language consists of grammaticalized lexis, not lexicalized grammar. In other words, lexis is central in creating meaning. Grammar plays as a secondary in a meaning. When this principle is accepted, the logical implications for teachers is that we should spend more time helping learners develop their stop on phrases and less time on grammatical structures. The grammar-vocabulary dichotomy is invalid. Much language consists of multi-word chunks. For this approach, vocabulary plays the central role, meaning that grammar as structure is subordinate to lexis. Also, the idea that an important part of learning a language consists on being able to produce and understand lexical units as chunks. Chunks represent an insignificant portion of a native speaker's spoken and written output. Therefore, these chunks of language are vital for fluent production. On the other hand, what is the role of teachers in the lexical approach? The teacher has several roles in this method, and among them are: the teacher is the main source of learners' input, assisting learners by providing scaffolding, help learners manage their own learning, help students develop their noticing skills, or in other words, tutoring pop the language exposure into intake the language acquisition, to understand and implement the methodology, which is based on stages composed of task, planning, and report, and also create an operative environment where students operate effectively. And of course, students also have roles, and among them are the analyzer of real language samples based on his or her explanations, to observe, classify, and make generalizations. Data analysts, and also replace the idea that the teacher is the knower and the learner is the discovered. But if we use this method, does it have negative effects on children? Words are the building blocks of language. They provide a link between a phonological or orthographic form and a referent, resulting in a unit of meaning that can be understood and shared between people. Word knowledge develops early in infancy, and before long, children are able to produce and comprehend many thousands of words. using their vocabulary knowledge flexibly and creatively to communicate with others. Words are crucial component comprehension, and therefore it is not surprising to find children who struggle with language during development often have difficulty dealing with words. This is seen most obviously when a child has an impoverished vocabulary. Not knowing the meaning of a particular word has clear and detrimental implications for comprehending language which contains that word. The method works quite well. There are significant limitations and differences between courses and students that do not give the same results, but generally the results are good. Children are capable of pronouncing words the right way. When the teacher explains a concept of a word or sentence in isolation or in a drill, are able to understand what you are saying. They can write small words in sentences, simple dialogues with proper spelling, and they are able to recognize and read words and little chunks of dialogue. This teaching method has its advantages and disadvantages in its use. Among the advantages are focus on learner needs. It is helpful and motivating for students to have a step-by-step learning processes, allowing learners to choose relevant and useful competencies, mastering elements one at a time, and teaching and testing specific and public competencies. Hence, the learner knows exactly what needs to be learned. And the disadvantages are language cannot be divided into different units in real life, and some topics traditionally considered advanced can actually be taught in much lower levels. This method will be appropriate for elementary students in English as a foreign language classes. In language teaching and learning, we do need a constant openness to revision in the light of research and experience. When it comes to teaching English in a setting where the language is a foreign language and not a second language to very young learners, work is even more difficult and challenging for teachers. A lot has been said about teaching English as a foreign language to kids. Methods to use, materials to take into account, importance of an early approach to the second language, roles of teacher and students, principles, and more. This approach works quite well with young learners because the philosophy of learning, teaching, and language fits the needs of them. It is also important to know how effective this method for teaching a student. A significant teaching explication was made by Lewis, and he argued implementing the lexical approach is well written and exciting, but dangerous. It is likely to challenge the way teachers think concerning what is important in foreign language learning and teaching. Lewis has done an excellent job of reminding us that only by attending to the genuine needs of students, knowledge, safety, affection, respect, and responsibility can we obtain the educational goals we have set, making the foreign language classroom into the better and even different organization that is need to become. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you have a great day. See you next time.